The sun glared over Edgewater High School like a spotlight, exposing every secret, every lie, every crack in the illusion of teenage perfection. In the farthest corner of the schoolyard, near the rusting fence where weeds crept like silent witnesses, a girl knelt on the ground. Her face was red, her lip trembling, and her hands clenched in fists of shame. Around her stood a group of sneering teens, 3 boys and 2 girls, all laughing, pointing, and one of them holding a clump of dirt. Asterisk, eat it, Logan sneered, shoving the filth toward her. Or what? You gonna run crying to mommy? Asterisk, the girl on the ground said nothing. Her name was Akari Tanaka. She was barely 5 feet tall, had soft jet black hair that fell over her face like a curtain, and wore oversized clothes that swallowed her frame. Her quietness was legendary. Teachers often forgot she was in class. Students joked that she was invisible. She never argued, never raised her voice, just slipped through the halls like a ghost with downcast eyes. Until now. Asterisk, Akari hadn't always been this silent. Back in Japan, where she'd spent most of her childhood, she was a prodigy in martial arts trained by her grandfather, retired special operations expert who had taught her to control her body, her mind, and most importantly, her emotions. She earned her black belt in jiu-jitsu by age 10 and was already competing nationally when tragedy struck. Her parents died in a car crash. Sent to live with distant relatives in the U.S., Akari had to start over. A new country, it's a new language. In a school where silence meant survival, she promised herself she would never fight again, ever be that person, because violence reminded her of everything she lost. So, she buried that version of herself. Until now, the dirt hit her cheek. She didn't flinch. Come on, Frick, another girl, Mandy taunted. You're not mute. Say something, Asterisk. Akari looked up slowly. Her eyes almond-shaped, once gentle now, flickered with something ancient, something that chilled the air around them. Logan smirked and bent down to push the dirt into her face. That's when she moved. In a blur, Akari grabbed his wrist, twisted it, and flipped him over her shoulder. Logan landed hard on his back with a gasp, all the wind knocked from his lungs. The rest froze in place. Akari rose to her feet, brushed the dirt from her cheek, and looked at them not like a victim, but like a judge. Asterisk enough. She said softly, her voice calm, controlled. Panic broke out. Mandy screamed. One of the boys lunged, trying to tackle her, but Akari sidestepped him effortlessly,
Ow.
letting his own momentum send him face first into the dirt he'd wanted her to eat. The last 2 backed away, their laughter turned to silence. Asterisk within. Moments, all 5 bullies were on the ground, embarrassed and utterly humiliated. Asterisk, but Akari didn't gloat. She didn't speak again, simply walked away, her steps light and balanced, leaving behind a silence so heavy it lingered like fog. Word of what happened spread through the school like wildfire. Everyone knew the shy girl. The story at first, but the security camera footage leaked mysteriously that same night confirmed every second. Students watched in awe, replaying her flawless takedowns again and again. Asterisk, by morning, Akari was no longer invisible. At first, she hated the attention. Crowds of kids whispered when she walked by. Some tried to sit with her. Others begged for self-defense tips. Logan avoided her entirely. Mandy deleted all her social media after being publicly humiliated. The bullies were suspended for 3 weeks, but they'd lost something bigger than time. They'd lost their power. Akari stayed quiet through it all. But inside, something had shifted. Mr. Daniels, her literature teacher, approached her after class one day. Asterisk, I heard what? You did, he said gently. I'm not here to scold you. I want to say thank you. Some of those kids, they've been terrorizing others for months. Asterisk, Akari bowed her head slightly. I didn't want to fight. I had to. Asterisk, sometimes courage looks like walking away, but sometimes it looks like standing your ground. His words stayed with her. Asterisk, soon, others began opening up. Kids who had been bullied for years, those on the margins, the forgotten, the different started to walk taller. One girl with autism started eating in the cafeteria again. A boy who stuttered raised his hand in class for the first time. Akari didn't say much to them, but her presence was enough. Asterisk, she had become a symbol. A quiet storm that reminded everyone. Strength didn't need to shout. The principal eventually called her in. Asterisk Kakari, she said, folding her hands. We watched the footage. While technically you broke the rules, you did so in self-defense. More importantly, you've inspired this school. We'd like to invite you to speak at our anti-bullying assembly. Asterisk Kakari hesitated. She hadn't spoken in front of more than 3 people since arriving in the U.S. asterisk. But something inside her, something old and strong, told her it was time. She nodded. Asterisk the day of the assembly. The auditorium buzzed with energy. Over 800 students sat shoulder to shoulder, whispering excitedly. The stage lights dimmed. A single spotlight appeared. Akari stepped up to the microphone. Asterisk, she looked out over the sea of faces, some curious, some mocking. Most silent asterisk she took. A deep breath. Asterisk, I was taught never to fight unless there is no other option. I believed that if I stayed quiet, the world would leave me alone. But silence does not stop cruelty. Sometimes the world only listens when you stand up. She paused. I am not proud of what happened, but I am not ashamed either. Who feels invisible, weak, or afraid, see you. And you are stronger than you think. The room erupted in applause. Not thunderous, not wild, but respectful. Real. Akari stepped off the stage and walked down the aisle. Dozens of kids reached out to touch her hand, give her a nod, a smile, a thank you, whispered in passing. That day forward, Edgewater High changed. The school launched a peer protection program. Students began forming support groups. Logan and his friends never returned to their old ways. And Akari, though still quiet, was never unseen again. She resumed her martial arts training quietly, this time not in hiding, but in peace. She taught a few self-defense workshops for girls who asked, each time reminding them, power without purpose is noise. But calm strength? That changes everything. By the end of the year, Akari Tanaka had not just defended herself. Asterisk, she had sparked a movement. Asterisk, a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous person in the room isn't the loudest. Asterisk. It's the one who endures in silence until it's time to rise. Asterisk.